Okay. For some reason that wasn't working. Okay. Alright, it says, have you ever seen a face? Whoops. Hold on. It says, have you ever seen a face where you eyelid out in a stain on the ceiling or the wood? It says, or the wood get grain on a wall, or even a scuff mark on a desk, perhaps. You have, eh? That is certainly no surprise. Whoa. Wait a minute. Whoops. Hey, what the hell? What is this up here? I don't know. Whatever. This is human nature to seek pattern, as to find meaning and make connections, whether real or imagined. To be quite frank, this is all a mistake, an illusion, a mismatch owing to human and perception. People inevitably favor their own thoughts, ideas over anyone else's. To be human is to be forever out of reach of true objectivity. Now, let me tell you the tale of a curious group of people and their subjective mistakes. This is a tragedy of two families. One that may have begun when bonds were when bonds were mistakenly believed to exist among those attending a certain gathering. This story has no real relevance to you and might have taken place anywhere. Right. Okay. Murder at the Kagetsuken. Are you okay? Huh? Sino? Did you hit your head or something? My name is Juliet. Juliet Velvet. Juliet Velvet, huh? We go to the same college, remember? No, I don't remember. You want to refresh my memory? We eat lunch together every couple of days, hang out maybe once a week, you know, friends. Okay. You ditched class so you could come with me on a 4-day family trip, remember? Do I know what the date is? No, I do not. I know it's May 2019. I know it's May 2020. Are you sure you're okay? You got the month right, but you're off by a year, it's still 2019. See, this is why head injuries are so scary. You appear to have a mild case of amnesia. Yeah. Well then, I shall introduce myself as well. My name is Hawthorne. I am the violent family. Wait, whoops. I am the violent family's doctor. Yeah, I think I have. Wait, whoops. I think I've been at this for about 20 years or so. I'm afraid my memory isn't what it used to be, much to my chagrin. Is Dante Yeager going to be okay, doctor? Their condition doesn't seem to be serious, but you can't take head injuries lightly. One can seem to be in perfect health one day, then collapse the next. As a doctor, I'm afraid I can't give them a clean bill of health just yet. If they start to feel bad again, make sure you call me at once. Oh good, you're awake. Ha ha ha! Are you feeling alright now, Dante Yeager? Is that all you've got to say, Kane? You're the one who hit them with that ball in the first place. Oh yeah, I guess I did, huh? Sorry about that. Everything's good now that I apologize. Great. Then I'm gonna get back to the game. Ugh, I'm sorry about my little brother. Oh, whoops. You'd think he'd finally grow up a little now that he's in high school, but nope. High school, really? That doesn't seem right. It's okay, I probably should have been paying more attention. If you say so. You know, for a moment there, you looked like you'd seen a ghost or something. Anyways, don't feel like you have to go easy on him, okay? He could have seriously hurt you. It was bad enough that King kicked that ball into your face, but then it tripped you up, and you ended up tumbling down the nearby stairs like a barrel, remember? I'm not sure what I'd do to him if I were in your shoes. But you just laughed it off with a joke about him becoming a pro soccer player someday. I couldn't believe it. But then, that's one of your best qualities. You've always been good at finding the silver lining. Is she seriously talking about me or somebody entirely different? I see. By the way, where are we again? Oh, you might have it worse than I thought. This is Kagetsukan. Kagetsukan, I guess. Oh, that's the problem. You're here with my family on our... Oh, good. You look like you're alright. Hello, Eva. I was so worried after I heard what King did. I'm glad to see you seem fine. I see you're here too, Harriet. I must say, you both look especially beautiful today. Hee. Maybe that's because I got out of the bath. I just got out of the bath. Who are those two again? That's my mom and my little sister. I'd have thought that was obvious. Maybe there's not as much family resemblance as I thought. And why don't you go take a bath too, Juliet? It's very spacious. It's really spacious. Maybe later. Now, you mustn't let your appearance slide over something like this. Haven't you noticed your hair getting sticky from the ocean breeze? Not really. It's not like I've been to the beach. I must say, it's always fascinating to see twins with such different personalities. Can you all come with me for a moment? Daddy! What is it, Adamatsuka? Dorothy lost a valuable necklace and it's become a bit of a problem. Well, if the lady of the Goldie family is in trouble, we certainly can't turn our backs on her after all. No need to get into all that now. Come on, everyone, let's go. Why is my necklace missing? It couldn't have walked away on its own. Obviously not. We're doing everything we can to find it, madam. Please, just give us a little more time. How the hell did she lose her shit? Jesus, child. Now, over there, you can see for yourself how it's turning into kind of a mess. That furious lady over there is Dorothy Goldie, and the men trying to placate her is Wu from the Marble Company. It says, I'll wait for as long as I must for it to be found. That necklace is very precious to me. Well now. Mommy, I'm hungry. Hey, be patient, Laurie. It'll be time for snacks soon, and Mommy's having a very important conversation right now. To see Antoinette as a mom is fucking weird to me. Okay, I'll go pay with Kane then. It's funny as hell that Paul Biden is actually the child too. What's going on here, Wu? Oh, hey sis. I'm afraid we got a problem on our hands, you see. That dignified looking woman there is An, the vice president of the Marble Company, and the girl we saw earlier was Laurie Goldie. I see, so Miss Dorothy's necklace went missing in the Pap House. It took 10 minutes for me to realize I'd forgotten my necklace in the changing room and go back to check on it. Someone must have taken it while I was out. Weren't you standing guard over the bathhouse then, Wu? Yeah, I was. I can promise you that no man went in or out while I was keeping watch. In fact, nobody went in at all after Miss Dorothy left. Then you must have taken my necklace. Well, let's have it. Why would he actually admit that he was the one who took it if that was the case? Please calm down, Miss Dorothy. Could you keep it down? I was having a great nap until you woke me. Are they all just here? Oh, Morris, can't you be a little more polite? Mo-san? Huh? Who the hell do you think you are, talking to me like we're buddies or something? You want a piece? I'm sorry about that. They're still a little loopy. Oh? Oh, right. You brought them here, eh? Not bad, I guess you passed. Huh? Am I missing something? You're one to talk, seeing how you slept most of the way here. Yeah, what do you expect? I was busy living it up all night. So what is this person to you anyway? I would think a person. I would hope a friend, I guess. They're a friend from school. I wanted someone outside our family to be here so that I didn't end up suffocating. Oof. Know that feeling. That's so. Alright, I'll let it go this once, out of respect for you, but there won't be a next time. I didn't ask. Are you alright, Morris? Oh, Mr. Aaron. I'm fine, Pops. Good, good. For a moment, I was worried something had happened to you. That's our the head of the Goldie family, and you've already met Morris, his son. You're such a worrywart, old man. Don't worry, I'll be taking over soon. Just relax and enjoy that whiskey you've been saving. You got a smart ass here. And I can't say I approve of the way you disappointed your bride, though. Bride? I'm sorry, but I don't want to explain it again. You'll see soon enough. Woo, may I have a word? What is it, Doc? I'm not saying that this just to clear my own name, but the three of us have airtight alibis. Juliet, Dante Yeager, and myself were all in the same room. We can all vouch for one another. We cannot vouch for the sister, though, who was already there. Who literally just said she just came out the bath. Uh-oh. No. Since there's no question of their guilt, why not let the two of them handle the investigation? And, well, I guess that'd be better than me looking into it, since Miss Dorothy obviously doesn't trust me anymore. You look shady, so. As long as I get my necklace back, I don't care who finds it. Now that that's clear, I will leave it up to you two for now. But if it still doesn't turn up, then I'll take matters into my own hand. In our line of business, trust is everything after all. Well now, are you sure you'll be okay, Juliet? You sure? I mean, you're such a worrywart, Daddy. I told you I'm fine. Now, what's the big idea, Doctor? Oh, just a little unorthodox treatment. I thought it might be a good way for Dr. Yeager to rehabilitate their memories, you see. Why do I not trust that? Why do I feel like you're about to do something that's gonna piss me off? You know that's a good point. Alright, tell me, Dante Yeager. How is your memory doing now that you've met everyone from both families? What's the marble company? Not so well, I see. They're some of the most famous people in the business world. It's even said that any contract they're pressing for will never ever be broken. And the marble company doesn't just own the Kagetsukan. They even own the island on it, so you never have to worry about unwanted visitors out here. Of course, that also means if they did steal the necklace, we would have no hope of getting it back. I think we can trust them, don't you? Trust is everything for them after all. As she already stated, yeah. I'm sure that necklace wasn't cheap, but it couldn't possibly be worth ruining their reputation. Seems like they really are impressive. They have clients all over the world, so that does give them a lot of power. Neither of our families could hope to match them even if we combine forces. Really now? Of course, we wouldn't have asked them to be here otherwise. While we're on the subject, An is the company's second in command, and despite his young age, Wu is one of the top 5 most powerful people in the company. With the people that high up in the company here, just shows you how seriously they take all of this. But never mind that now. Let's go talk to them. Yes, I knew that everyone would be tired thanks to the early departure, so I opened up the woman's bath first. I think we got here a little afternoon, and yeah, we were all pretty tired. I'm glad that at least my mom and sister were able to freshen up. What about you, Wu? Did you ever take your eyes off the bath's entrance? Psst, what do you think? Yeah, I was sitting right there the whole time, but I was busy peeling vegetables. We're short on staff right now. But even if I couldn't keep an eye on it the whole time, I would have noticed if any lectures had tried to get in. From what I remember, Miss Harriet and Miss Eva went in first. Then Miss Dorothy and Miss Lurie went in just as Miss Harriet and Miss Eva were leaving. I'm pretty sure nobody else went in after Miss Dorothy and Miss Lurie came out. Though I sure didn't expect to see Miss Dorothy back again so soon, especially not looking like she was ready to carve me up. So if my mom and my sister couldn't have taken it, then who possibly could? There's no other viable suspect. True, a woman may have been able to make it past Wu without drawing suspicion, but there don't seem to be any women who could have done it. Oh, did something occur to you, Dante Yeager? Yeah, there are a lot of you girls. So, we're just supposed to believe you've got an alibi, huh? I mean, hypothetically speaking, couldn't twins swap places to pull this kind of thing off? Just saying. No way. No one would get them mixed up like that. I know I wouldn't. What about a woman who usually dressed like a man? She could have slipped in, right? Sure, that's possible, but only if there was anyone like that here. Ha? Cross-dressers here in the mansion? Give me a break. Yeah. Like that's not happened before. We're literally looking right at a cross-dresser. Is he talking about? Yeah, cross-dresser in here. Pa. Huh? Why are you looking at me like that? You think I stole it? You are a crossdresser. We're just pointing that out. Hey, no fighting. Hey. There's something down below. There's nothing up top. There's nothing up top. Of course Morris is a man. Yeah. And this punk friend of yours is calling me a woman. Stop it, Morris. I told you they're I don't care if they're your guests anymore. You and me outside now. I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Mr. Morris. Oh, hey, Chris. Wait, now you show up? You want to stop me, Chris? Fine. I'll just beat your ass first and bring it. Then it seems you leave me no choice. My apologies.
行きますか。お任せを。行きますか。と。
Why am I fighting a saber with a saber and not an archer? This entire thing is fucking weird to me. This is hella weird. I'm over here. There we go. Let me go, damn it. Forgive me, Mr. Morris. Damn, you're a lot stronger than you look. Ah shit, now my right arm hurts like hell. I don't even feel like punching them anymore. Them? Well, a good job on getting him to settle down. With that wrestling hold, but you injured him in the process, showing you still have a long way to go. What was that all about anyway? Why were you fighting? Fill them in. Then the necklace may still be around somewhere, yes? In that case, I have an idea of where it might be hidden. The necklace isn't just gonna turn up that easy. Hey, I found it. It was in the back of the drawer. Just like that? Yes, that's it. Wonderful, but that's strange. I don't remember putting it there. Ah, man. Lori. I thought I hid it really well, but you found it in no time. This sucks. Huh? You mean she took it? Why the hell I have to get punched for that? What was that all that even for? Kids. Kids will be kids, I guess. That's really all I can say to that. That's enough, Morris. Shut it. I'm so sorry. I never thought my daughter would get up to such mischief. Pay it no mind. Children will be children after all. Would you like me to take a look at your head, Morris? Having your dominant head injured must be a nuisance. Ha! This is nothing. Besides, it's not like I ever gave up. I swear I didn't think that pretty boy had it in him. Anyway, it's evening now, right? Let's eat already. Good point. Alright, I'll go get dinner ready. Thanks for the grub. Now, Lori, I know you can be more polite than that. Thank you for a great meal. Everything was really good, wasn't it? Huh? Yes, it was. Just take it away. Trying to cut my steak hurts my hand. I do apologize for that. Shall I cut your steak for you then? Get lost! Damn it! How'd this end up happening anyway? Hey, now, calm now. Adversity only strengthens us. After all, as long as that little episode brought our families closer together, it was all worth it. It was well worth it. Once the engagement between my son Morris and the Violet's daughter Juliet is finalized, the alliance between our families will be sealed. Surely there can be no better cause to rejoice than that. Engagement? And don't make such a big deal out of it. That's what this whole trip was for to begin with. With the Marbo family present, and this engagement contract will be irrevocated. If anyone should object to it, even from the families, we will ensure they keep any such objections to themselves. I have painful and not so painful ways of doing that. The painful ones are my specialty. Huh? That's strange. All of our guests should already be here. Save the questions for later and get your weapon ready. Sis already has hers out. Huh? Someone's coming. Good evening, distinguished guests of the Kagetsukan. I hope you'll forgive me for the intrusion. I rang the doorbell first, of course, but when no one came to answer, I thought I would let myself in. Who are you? People don't just stumble across this place. I believe Mr. Goldie or perhaps your superior can't answer that. They arranged for me to be here after all. I didn't think you'd actually come. I could have sworn nobody was following us. Difficult to believe as it is. It seems you have come. Welcome, Sir Detective. Thank you, Mr. Goldie. Now then, allow me to introduce myself properly. My name is Sheringham, a detective of some renown. I have come here because I sensed a case afoot. A detective? Why'd you go and bring a detective here, Pops? A fair question. I suppose you all have a right to know. The truth is, we received a threatening letter while I was putting this marriage proposal together. It said simply, call off Murs and Juliet's engagement or the Goldie family will suffer the consequences. Seriously? First I've heard. But so what? You get threats all the time, right? What's got you so spooked about this one? We kept this proposal strictly between our families. Not even my most trusted executives, the exclusives, know about it. Do you understand what that means? So you're saying whoever wrote that letter is here. I was just wondering what to do about it yesterday when Mr. Sheringham contacted me. Indeed, I told him I might be able to assist with any issues he may have arising from his son's engagement. I discussed it with Aunt, and we agreed that if he could track us down here, we would hire him. So, how do you know about the threat? Trade secret, I'm afraid. All I can say is that nothing escapes my notice or understanding. You expect us to believe that? How do we know you didn't set this whole thing up yourself? Even if he did, his skills as a detective are nothing to sniff at. He could never have found us here were it otherwise. Only a handful in the company know where the Kagetsukan is located, and the architect who designed it passed away. There's no way he could have found this place unless he tracked our itinerary perfectly. Haha, you are much too kind. You may rest easy, distinguished guest. You have my word that I will uncover whatever may be happening here. I am a great detective after all. Oh 2019. Senpai, you're awake. Thank goodness. Are you alright? Mosh, you're still Mosh, right? Yes, I'm still Mosh Currylite. Why do you ask? Have you met someone else with my name, or some other me with a different name? Do you not remember what happened? You were having coffee in the break room and I was having coca. We were having a lovely conversation when you began to stare at the moon outside the window. Then out of nowhere you just kinda mumbled, "Another crossover, huh?" and passed out. Spilled your piping hot coffee all over yourself as well. Indeed, what followed was akin to a small fireworks display, considering how panicked young Mosh was. But it would seem the heavens have not forsaken you, though they may have been momentarily inattentive. As luck would have it, I happened to be passing by at the time. So, straying through it was my aging bag. Was on my aging bag. I carried you all the way to your room. I further went above and beyond to the call of duty by examining your burns. One must always strive for accuracy when relying information, Professor. As you recall, we happened to be passing by. Furthermore, it was I who examined Mr. Dante Yeager. Thanks. I'm sorry to put you all out like that. Not at all. I simply could not turn my back on your plight. Not at least with young Masha's arms wrapped so tightly around it. She would have made an excellent sumo wrestler in another life, were I only 20 years younger. I might have fallen for her. By the way, is it May 2019 now, right? It is. Yes, that's right. May 14th. Why do you ask? Confirming the date without paying any heed to the mild burns you suffer from the coffee, eh? You must have had a most peculiar dream indeed. Would you care to share with us what it was about? That's like something straight out of a mystery novel, Senpai. Let's see. So there's Juliet, Harriet, who I can tell are both beautiful from your descriptions. The caring, motherly Eva, their Julian, a brother Cain, Hellion, and their father Amatsuka, who for some reason sounds completely worthless as a person. Oh, and after that, ha ha ha, calm yourself, young Mosh. I'm afraid Dante Yeager here is still trying to wrap his head around all of this as well. So, we have 6 members of the Violet family alone, eh? I'm particularly interested in this Dr. Hawthorne fellow myself. Indeed. No doubt he's some sort of detestable back alley doctor, if not an outright fraud. A fraud? Surely you mean that detective who showed up at the very end. Some nerve he has, showing up unannounced as though he were the main character. He kinda is the main character, that's the point. What is it about men who call themselves detectives that make them seem so terribly shady? Professor, with all due respect, there is a method to Holmes' madness. His goal is to get the culprit to lower their guard. Great detectives have to be shady. The nice ones always get killed off in the middle of the story. Ha ha ha, you make an excellent point. What I wouldn't give to have such an adoring fan myself. I appreciate the gesture, Miss Carly, but do be quiet for a moment. You have given me a great deal to think about. Oh, here, Senpai. I made a quick chart of the relationships between all the characters you just told us about. Hey, does this all look right to you? The golden ex-wife deceased, family head, wife Dorothy, eldest son, eldest daughter, Sherry Lane detective, family physician, family head, Ava wife, eldest and younger daughters, the eldest son Kane, the Marble Co. What? This makes this thing super clear. Ahem. Returning to the matter at hand. Mr. Dante Yeager, in your dream you said you were being cared for by an unfamiliar girl named Juliet. Furthermore, you were staying at an unfamiliar Western style mansion rather than called there along with 2 families. These families were made up of familiar servants, but all of their names and some of their genders were different. Is that correct? Yes, it was really confusing. Hey, that is far too intriguing. Wait, what? Far too intricate to be an ordinary dream. For one thing, did you even know the word Kagetsuku beforehand? Isn't it some kind of old-fashioned word? According to the dictionary, it's an old Japanese word for crescent moon. A lot of Western-style country houses are given similarly old-fashioned names. In fact, I think they should have names like that. The Kagetsukan sounds like a wonderful name to me. Hey, good grief. It seems I underestimated the depths of your affection for mysteries, Miss Cartwright. Hey, how about you, Professor? Any comments on these revelations? I mean, the phenomenon of learning a word through a dream that one would have no way of knowing otherwise. In the Magecraft world, there are no shortage of methods to accomplish that. Precognitive dreams, clairvoyance, the remote sharing of minds. Indeed, This latest case may be the result of one such method. Given what we currently know, my hypothesis is that Mr. Dante Yeager is picking up on a signal of sorts. A signal originating from one who is witnessing these events in reality. Yes, I imagine it is something along those lines. How unfortunate for you, young Dante Yeager. We don't know who's broadcasting it, but you seem to have unwittingly tuned in, so to speak. However, humans can contain quite a lot of data: how they sound, how their skin feels, their expression, a wealth of information. But she called me by name. She called me Dante Yeager, so there's that. This was likely too much information for you to process about so many people, so your mind substituted familiar servants for these new faces. Yeah. Think of it as a kind of safety function. Where you're unable to do so, your mind may well have broken under the strain of so much data. It is a very real danger. Indeed, your subconscious mind accesses the situation far more quickly and accurately than your conscious one. And that is to say, this was not your last dream. This story will continue on. I mean, of course. I think I'm getting sleepy right now. So, senpai! I'm just going back, Mosh. Calm yourself, child. You see, young Mosh was right. You have only just completed the prologue. From now on, you will delve into the mystery proper. It may be but a dream for you, but within the dream, I assure you, the mystery itself will be quite real. Now, permit this old professor to give you a word of advice. There is a certain malevolent presence in the situation and relationships you described. And you will find yourself on the wrong end of it. Of that, I am certain. Professor, what do you mean by... I'm afraid there is no time to explain. The Sadman is already at work on young Dante Yeager even as we speak. I suppose the best I can do now is be your doctor within the dream and treat you as best I am able. This loss of consciousness not being brought on by a need for sleep. It seems there is nothing we can do to keep him awake. Mr. Dante Yeager, allow me a word of advice as well, while there is still time to offer it. Consider why did your brain choose to substitute Mordred for Morris. Simple, it did so in error. It merely assigned Mordred to him based on his violent disposition. It is a stark difference between what you know and what the events you are witnessing. As such, there may be other errors of a similar nature. Listen closely. You cannot take what you see at face value. That is absolutely crucial. Think carefully and act cautiously. Once you are back in this dream, we will be powerless to help you. This dream is someone else's reality. As long as you are experiencing it, you are that person. I don't want to scare you, but if you die in this dream, we cannot say what may happen to you here. First, try to gather all the facts you can. Once you have done so, you can begin your deductions. See, I knew something was gonna happen as soon as I freaking did this. Every fucking time. Murder at Kagetsukan. Those sandwiches we had for breakfast were delicious. Yep, not a bad breakfast, I have to admit. I worked pretty hard on those, so I'm glad you all like them. Yeah, they weren't bad. Best thing about sandwiches is you don't need any fancy utensils to eat them. This tea is delicious too. Did you do something special with the tea leaves? That would be my doing, Miss Ava. Miss An saw to it that I was extensively educated on brewing tea. Clients don't need to know your life story, Chris. You're going to make some lucky woman very happy one day, Chris. You're already so clean and proper. That's enough, Ava. Is it my imagination, or did she just take a dig at me? Hey, Morris, you still have a lot of growing up to do if you're letting a lady's remark get under your skin. Nothing anyone could say fazed me when I was your age. By then, I had my hands so full of beautiful famous women that I hardly knew what to do with them all. Ha 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 ha. You're the one who told me I had to get married just as I was about to begin my own series of conquests. Did I? I'm so sorry if anything I said offended you, Morris. By the way, Chris, why don't you stop by my room later? Stop that, Ava. Fair. I can't believe that guy lets his wife and kids run their mouths like that. Right, Pops? Stop that, Morris. Can you not see how difficult you are making matters for your father? Yeah, alright. That was yummy. What a healthy appetite you have, Lori. I'm proud of you. Now, don't forget to thank them for the meal. Hey, can I have that too? Now that you mention it, there is another plate left over, isn't there? I want some too, gimme. Okay, let's share it then, have each. That's supposed to be for Shangham. Hey, Chris, where is Shangham anyway? Hey, Mr. Sheringham is still resting in his room. I thought a trip must have exhausted him, so I refrained from knocking so as not to wake him. Well, that won't do. We were supposed to discuss our plans this morning. In that case, allow me. I'll go and fetch Mr. Sheringham right now. Ask him if he still wants breakfast or not, too. Yeah, ask him. God, hear those brats screeching? It's giving me a damn headache. This is a hotel, not a kindergarten. Hear that? As if he isn't the biggest baby here. And true, but don't you find his Boris somehow endearing in its own way? Hey, I can hear you, you know. Ah! What is that, Chris? Let's go. Oh, that can be good news. I'm going too. You're all here. What happened, Chris? I don't think I've ever heard you raise your voice before. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. I'm alright now. But instead of telling you what happened, I think it would be faster if you saw for yourself. Take a look inside Mr. Sheringham's room. Sheringham's room? Why? What happened? The detective got killed off in the first act? No way, is he really dead? Looks like he's been dead for some time now. I'll seal the area off and go tell the others. I can't believe Sheringham is dead. I didn't examine his body too closely, but it sure didn't look like he died of natural causes. I mean, of course it doesn't. There might not be any point in asking, but do we know who saw him last? I wasn't technically the last to see him, but Mr. Sheringham did ask me to bring him some tea last night. And there's got to be more to it than that, right? Well, don't be coy. This is an emergency. Just spit it out. Mr. Sheringham requests 2 teacups. It looked like there was someone else with him. Damn, man. Do you know who it was? I couldn't tell. Mr. Sheringham was waiting for me outside his room, and he slipped back inside after I gave him the tea tray. I didn't get so much as a look at whoever was in there. Based on the way he acted, I thought he might be entertaining a woman, but I didn't give it much thought beyond that. Oh my, I didn't think you were still so innocent, Chris. The only possible clue I can think of is that he requested a left-handed teacup. Not that teacups are normally left or right-handed, but the handles for the cups we use here at the Kagetsukan are a little unusual. Mr. Sheringham appeared to be right-handed, so I think the left-handed one was for his guest. Ha, that's just perfect. Detective I had more game than I thought. I don't suppose you were the left-handed woman, were you? How could you even ask me that, Morris? That is hardly a fit subject for a joke, especially now. Besides, I'm right-handed. How could you not know that? I've been your stepmother for 10 years. I'm sorry to ask this now, but is anyone here left-handed? I'll take that as a no. Well, I guess it would be hard to get anyone to admit that to that under the circumstances. Never mind who he might have been meeting with. This isn't going to affect our alliance, is it? No, unfortunate accidents aside, we will proceed with the engagement as scheduled once we regroup. You're kidding, right? We need to start this deal and leave right now. Have someone come pick us up at once. Unfortunately, we don't have any means of contacting anyone on the mainland. No matter what happens, not going ahead with the engagement is not an option. You mean we're trapped here? But what if something happens to my Luri? No one will be coming to get us until 2 days from now. Until then, we will just have to make the best of things. You know what? I just finished Yumi Neko. That's quite alright with me. I can have a little thing like is get in the way of our agreement. I couldn't agree more. Phew, what a relief. Man, you sure are desperate, huh? This alliance really means that much to you? Morris, that was going too far. I apologize right now. Yeah, sorry about that, Mr. Adutskma. Anyways, we know the killer's here among us, right? Well, I'm not gonna let a little murder scare me. Looks like our decision to keep our personal to a minimum backfired. I never thought we would have a murder on our hands. I'm sorry to spoil your vacation, but please make sure you all stay where we can see you as much as possible. If there's anything you need, we will be happy to provide it. Alright everyone, as you were, I hope you will still be able to relax and enjoy yourselves. I mean, the murderer is obviously the guy who's playing as, the guy who looks like a freaking, Moriarty. Relax and enjoy ourselves. How on earth are we supposed to relax now? Say, Dante Yeager, if you don't have anything better to do, would you mind taking over for the detective? We've diverted so many resources to security at this point. Honestly, we don't have time to handle the investigation. Does that mean you don't suspect Dante Yeager at all? I saw them take that ball to the face on the first day, not to mention the uproar that followed. There's no way anyone that anyone that inexperienced in self-defense would be capable of murder. Well, not that you need to be good in martial arts to kill someone, of course. Whatever your means are, I absolutely agree that Dante Yeager could never kill anyone. I'll do it. I'll be a detective. This works out perfectly. Well now, it seems you have much more initiative than I thought, considering how quiet you seem. I agree, Dante Yeager is the right choice since they are not affiliated with either family. We can expect their judgment to be fair and impartial. Now then, shall we take a look at the crime scene, much as I'd rather not, of course? Doctor Wu asked me to help out as well. I'm the only one here who can perform an autopsy after all. Lamentably, I have little in terms of space or equipment, so I best confine myself to a visual examination. That's a good point. Okay, let's go then. It's Moriarty. Yep, it's definitely Moriarty. He is pretty pale, but aside from that, he doesn't really look dead. If that's what you think, try checking his wrist. Okay, just in case. No, you're right. He doesn't have a pulse. Did you want to check his wrist too, Dante Yeager? Aren't you scared? Of course I'm scared, but I also kind of feel like I'm partly to blame for his death. You look even paler than he does, Juliet. Why don't you go back to your room and get some rest? Let Dante Yeager and me handle this. No, I'll stay. I wouldn't be any less scared sitting alone in my room. Alright, if you insist. Anyways, I believe we have sufficiently verified that he is in fact dead. Given how much his body has cooled, I'd put his time of death at around midnight. Of course, the cause of death will be more important than the time. Okay. What do you think, Dante? What do you think, Doctor? Poison would seem the most likely answer. Still, I don't tell what sort of poison or how it entered his blood. I can't tell. I'm afraid that's all I can say at this point. That's all. Isn't there anything else? I may be a doctor, but I must admit that this isn't exactly my area of expertise. I can't even be sure whether this poison was mixed into food or drink, or if he was injected with it somehow. It would be one thing if he had my toxic substance detection reagent here with me, but reagent. I'm sorry to interrupt. It looks like today is going to be rather warm, so would it be alright if we move Mr. Sheringham's body soon? Oh, right. I do apologize. You must have a lot to do without waiting around for us. Never mind that, Doctor. What about the poison? If the killer poisoned his food or drink, what's to stop them from doing the same to ours? I doubt there will be any poison in the food as long as Wu is cooking. But if you're worried, I'll be happy to taste it first to put you at ease. What? How can you smile about that? If it really is poison, you could end up dead yourself. The marble company took me in when I was just a baby. Of course I would lay down my life for them. But it's your life. You only got one, you know. You can't just throw it away like that. With all due respect, Miss Juliet, the marble company is like family to me, and Miss Aunt may as well be my mother. There is no difference between me risking my life for them and you remarrying someone you don't love for your family. Yes, there is. It's not the same thing at all. My apologies, I should never have said that, forgive me. It's okay, I'm over it. Alright, now that the autopsy is over, we shall take Mr. Sheringham's body out of here. We can use that basement. It's a little desolate, but it's the best option we have. I'll take the body down there now. Hold it, sir. Dr. Yeager and I can carry the body ourselves, but I'm well aware that marble company doesn't have enough hands to go around right now. There's no need for you to concern yourself with this when we are perfectly capable of doing it ourselves. All I ask in exchange is that you make us a nice pot of tea that we cannot do ourselves after all. In that case, I would be glad to take you up on that. What kind of tea do you have? I'm afraid we have a limited selection, but I'm certain something will be to your liking. Is it okay if I choose it myself? Of course, alright, let's be on our way. We'll wait for Dr. Hawthorne and your friend in the reception room. Now let's wrap the body up in a sheet and get it down to the basement. Mind taking the legs? Alright, let's go. Yeah, putting me with Moriarty, that's a fine thing. There we are. Phew. That certainly strains the lower back, doesn't it? Yet another reminder that I'm not getting any younger. Anyways, this should be a good place for Mr. Sheringham to rest in peace. It should be cool enough down here to minimize decay. Chris certainly wasn't kidding when he said it was desolate. In fact, it's downright chilly in here, and I don't just mean in terms of temperature. At any rate, it's finally just the two of us. Huh? Don't tell me you were the killer. No, nothing like that. I merely wanted to talk to you in private. It's better if Juliet doesn't hear this, you see. I've known Juliet since she was a baby. Her mother and I go way back. Did you used to date her or something? Not like that. There was never anything between us. That sounds rather sad now that I said it. Anyways, she was very popular. A boring man like myself would never have a chance. Besides, she was the pride and joy of the famous Violent family. I was far too scared to even think about asking her on a date. Still, I was lucky that she did see me as a friend. She even kept up with me after she married Matsuka. In fact, she was the one who chose me to be the Violet family's doctor after her daughters were born. I owe a great debt to the Violent family for providing me with a steady income for so many years, which is why I'm so reluctant to bring this up. I'm guessing that Goldie and Violet families came across as typical members of the upper class to you, but they are in fact two of the oldest crime families in the country. All that they have is built upon violence and blood money. However, in the past few years, they found themselves in a dangerous position. For a long time, they were fighting each other tooth and nail for control of a certain city. But now, both are under attack from a new enemy, and that attack has exhausted their resources. The way things are going, they probably won't last another 10 years. At worst, both could collapse. So, the head of both families arrived at the same conclusion. They would need to form an alliance, merger of sorts. They needed a way to ensure neither would betray the other, and they decided the way to do that was to have their eldest children marry. So it's a political marriage. Yes, that's probably the best way to put it. I'm still a bachelor myself, but I care for those girls as if they were my own. Sometimes I can't help but wish Juliet was as free spirit as her mother. She agreed to a marriage she doesn't want purely to help her family. It really grinds my gears. And to make matters worse, well, you've met Morris. How do you think he will be as a husband? I think he'll make Juliet very unhappy. I concur. Morris is no more than a thug who goes about picking fights over every he perceives slight to his fragile ego, and he perceives many. Unfortunately, he's not the only one like that in the Goldie and Violet families, far from it. And those other thugs aren't happy about this merger. They are too concerned about what happened in the past and what's happening right now to give any thought to the future. In fact, many of them would rather have an all-out war than team up with an enemy. Both Eren and Adamaska are under a lot of pressure from their men not to go through with this. That's why Arion decided to bring in the Marble Company. Any deal the Marble Company is present for always goes through after all. No, nobody in that city would voice an objection to this engagement with the Marble Company backing it. While this is ostensibly a 4-day family trip, the true purpose here is to close the deal between these two families in secret. But then why am I here? Of course, she has every right to go ahead with this marriage if that's what she decided, but I don't want her to make a choice she'll end up regretting. Still, she has many years ahead of her, and there's no telling what may happen down life's winding road. If Juliet ever ends up reaching out to you for help, I hope you'll be there for her. Not that I have any business telling you this, as I do not even have the guts to take a chance at get properly down by my own youthful crush. Now then, we'd better get back. I imagine Juliet is waiting for us with our tea. Will you let me through? Just a second. Got something I want to talk to you about first. It looks like they're arguing about something. Let's go see what's up. Alright, what is it? Let me just be straight with you here. Your sister's more my type, and I want you to trade places with her. That's not something you and I can decide by ourselves. Else, I just thought it'd suck for you if you'd already fallen for me, so I figured I'd bring it up early. It still doesn't look like being blunt's your thing anyway, so I don't see you answering honestly regardless. Of course, if you are set on it, I don't mind doing it with you either. You're easy on the eyes. You're disgusting. What are you going to do about this, Dante Yeager? Is there a ball I can kick at him anywhere? wonder if he's got a gun. That's enough, Mr. Morris. Ah, crap. It's the pretty boy with the grip of steel. Fine. I'll get out of your hair before he breaks my arm or something. I'm gonna go for a walk alone. Are you alright? I'm alright. Just sick to my stomach. Chris, doctor, would you mind going on ahead? If that's what you want, come along, Chris. Yes, sir. Thanks. I'll be there before my tea gets cold. I'm so sorry. I told you this was just a family trip when I asked you to come along, Dante. I thought he might be awful, but he's a little worse than I had expected. Just a little? You're putting on a really strong face. That's your response? You're so silly. Usually you're really quiet, but today you're something else. Hee hee, thank you, Dante. I feel a little better now. But, you know, I've had a good life growing up in this family. It's thanks to them that I got into our school. And I never would have met you if I hadn't gone there. I'm grateful to them for that. So I cannot run away from my duties now. I am the eldest daughter after all. We could run away from all this together. That's sweet of you, but I can't. If I run, my sister would have to take my place. I can't do that to her. Hey, what's with that look? I didn't bring you along so you could make faces at me. Huh? No, Dante, you mustn't. Dante, hang in there. Huh? That was quick. You weren't even asleep for an hour. Could have sworn it was much longer. It would seem that time passes differently in your dream world. How fortunate. I was just thinking how helpful more data would be. Now then, what happened over there? That was when Julia shoved you and you fell unconscious? How unfortunate for you. Still, it seems someone else was even more unfortunate. Still, what a tragic turn of events. Don't you agree, Sheringham? Oh, my apologies. I don't know how I got those names mixed up. Holmes, the great Sherlock Holmes, roved out in the first act. Not even I would have ever seen it coming. Fuck out of here. Senpai, I've never seen the professor so euphoric before. I kind of understand how he feels. I know. It's like he's rediscovered his inner child. Bart's. Ow! I do beg your pardon, but I'm trying to think. Would you kindly keep it down? Still, I must say I'm disappointed to hear the detective was the first to step off the stage. Detective work is fraught with danger. Any gentleman worth his salt would have known to master a martial arts or two for his own self-defense. Poor Sheringham clearly needed more training. You don't want to talk, given that your self-defense consists of shielding yourself with the culprit. That aside, something about Sheringham's death nags at me. It would make more sense had it been anyone else. What do you mean, Professor? Assuming that whoever made that threat is among the other characters, Sheringham's arrival must have thrown a wrench in their plans. Let's further assume that the culprit made a number of preparations in the Kagetsukan. Assuming they have done so, then murdering Sheringham puts our culprit in a bit of a bind since they had not prepared anything for him in advance. Which means they must have made a mistake somewhere. I certainly understand the desire to rid oneself of an unwelcome visitor, but I can't say I approve of this rushed, artless approach. I see, so the culprit would just as soon have not committed this murder unless they had no choice. Does that mean Holmes's death was a spur-of-the-moment decision? Sheringham, Miss Corelli, I assure you I am still very much alive. Indeed, I doubt our culprit is in a position to simply gallivant about murdering as they please. As soon as someone dies, the survivors become much more wary, serving only to complicate the act of carrying out your intended murder. Assuming this is not a matter of vengeance, your first victim should always be the one you had intended to kill from the start. But that wasn't true for Sheringham. He was not involved with either of the families. Killing him now must have been a deeply bitter pill for the culprit to swallow. Why do you think Sheringham was killed, Professor? You need to ask. He was in the culprit's way, obviously. I think it's a little more complicated than that. That seems way too convenient. Hang on a second, I'm trying to drink some water because I am thirsty as hell. Believe me, I can understand how they felt. It's an unbearably smug-looking detective show up. Like he was running the show amid one of my own schemes. I would send him home in a coffin too. The detective's presence carries with it the risk of interference in the culprit's plan, or having them exposed once those plans are carried out. Detectives represent any number of problems for criminals, you know. Disposing of them before the plot truly begins is absolutely the best course. That's terrible. Loath as I am to admit it, I have to agree. If I were a criminal, I would do the same thing. Furthermore, by killing the detective off first, the person who made the threat has shown they are not afraid to get their hands dirty. Come to think of it, there was a new development on our end while you were off in Dreamland, Dr. Yeager. I wasn't able to track down the Marble Company, but I did find two other corporations named Golden Company and Violet Inc. Incorporated. They are both headquartered in a major American city and have vied for control over it for quite some time. The CEOs of the two companies are listed as Arani Goldie and Adamska Violet. It all lines up perfectly. Though unfortunately I was unable to find any information about their families. That doesn't surprise me. Any decent underworld organization leader knows that their enemies can get to them through their families and are sure to keep a tight lid on information regarding them. Then this is really happening right now, not in the past or the future or in a singularity. Indeed, I'm still doing everything I can to find out more about them. I'll make sure to have more detailed information by the next time you wake up. Is that the best the world's greatest detective can do? Give me one of the command room terminals and I'll have the answers for you in an instant. Ha! I can never be so foolish or intoxicated as to hand over the master key to a known thief. Besides, not even I can get into the command room's mainframe. That is a black box if I ever saw one. I think I'm getting sleepy again. Holmes, Professor, Senpai looks like he's about to drift off again. Well now. It seems we've droned on a bit too much. Based on what you've told us, it's clear who Sheringham was meeting with. Try to stay awake a little longer and I'll tell you what I know. And that's all we have for today, so not that much to get into until the next one is open tomorrow. So everybody, this has been Hunter the Ray Dragon. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see all of you guys next time.